G'day folks, Tony again here for more Star Control 2. Alrighty folks, let's continue zooming our way around. The Melnorm appear to have skedaddled from this particular location right now, so how about we keep making our way inwards. Now I believe what we said is that we were going to work our way in planet by planet. So I am going to scoot over this way just so that I'm keeping this methodical approach happening. Otherwise I'm going to confuse myself. Where's the planet? Oh no, what is happening? I think it might be this one here. That appears to be correct. Heading in towards this kind of scarlet looking planet. Let's see what we end up with. What do you have for me? Class 6 weather, that's not worth it unless there's some fancy biologicals there, and there aren't. So, so much for that plan. Where to next? What amazing things is the Starship Dank going to discover? Okay, I think we actually end up missing planets like that because our ship hasn't entirely left sitting over the top of one planet before it hits another. So some eccentricities there of the Pixel era. Nothing on energy, nothing on biology. So class 3 weather, class 2 tectonics. That does seem worth the while, considering the color and the size of some of these things here. So we have just a lot of fire zooming around. Very much more than I was expecting, in fact, given the rating on this. Oh, look out on this particular environment. That's full load there. Down to 19 crew, yikes. So we'll head back down. While we're here, we may as well just grab all the things. Whoa, look out. We've lost our last ship and that's all we have. So there's nothing else we can actually grab from here. Isn't that frustrating? We only have one cargo pod full, but we are going to now have to make our way back to Sol and restock before coming back here. We're at planet 5 and we continue our journey inwards. Now, just something worth pointing out, because I keep forgetting to do it at other times. We do have a full star map here. Here it is. We can see the location that we're at currently at Alpha Centauri. We can see the sort of zone area that the Ilrath control. We can also see the zone area that the Sparthi control. And if we move ourselves around here, you'll notice there is Sol, the name up the top there changing, so we can get an indication of these different star systems. I believe Rigel was one of the things that was mentioned to us, and I think it's around here somewhere. There it is. So that was another place that the Starbase Commander mentioned. So that's somewhere that we can go looking for. I've hit the enter button there to mark it on the map. And you'll see there that now we've switched to autopilot and we can actually fly there should we wish. So I'm going to take advantage of that right now. I'm actually going to mark us to go back to Sol because that is where we want to go to. And then we'll just let ourselves fly there. Had mentioned to say this earlier, forgot to. But now there's some good times where I have a little bit of free brain space to talk to you about meaningful things while the game flies us to where we're going. So, yeah, meaningful things. I'm sure I'll think of something at some point. I'm going to zip our way inwards here towards Earth. So a real clumsy sort of exercise there, losing those landing craft. The Melnorm, of course, telling us that that we are able to buy stuff that's going to allow us to upgrade the toughness of our bits and pieces, but we don't have any credits to trade with them yet. So we'll take it as it comes. Captain Clapton, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. Well, I did, but many of my crew did not. Let's offload these minerals. So some things, some more things, some more things, some more things, and some exotics there, giving us the majority of our money. So back we go to the outfit starship. We're going to buy a module. We're going to buy some planet landers again. Why not? Let's buy 3 of them. And if we back our way out of this, I guess we could buy a little bit more fuel while we're here. Let's plonk that back up to 50 again. And then we'll go to the shipyard, because we're going to have to crew up again. So that crew there is still costing us 3 each. I'm not quite sure when we hit a new threshold there, but this will do for now. So off we go, and away we go again. Let's go back to the star map. Let's go back to Alpha Centauri, that giant red star there. We'll plonk that there on our autopilot, and off we go again. So this will autopilot us to a star system. But I don't believe it autopilots us to a particular planet in a star system. So planet 5, where we're heading back to, and we'll continue scooting our way inwards. So let's just watch on that mini-map and see if there are any little shadows of other ships that we see around. Doesn't look like there's anything right now. I don't actually believe that there's a way that the game tracks for you places that you have visited or have not visited. So that's part of the hard work we're going to have to do for ourselves, or rather that I'm going to have to attempt doing, which I won't do well because I'm trying to talk and play and think at the same time. But I'm sure that if I end up doing some daft things, you can let me know about it in the comments. Politely, of course. Or alternatively, you could also talk to me about them on Twitter. So while I am maneuvering around here, I can let you know that if you want to contact me personally on Twitter, my Twitter handle is @Kalinskald. That's Kalinskald. You can follow me there along with the first 10 minutes, which is @the first 10 minutes. And if you're there, you'd be able to vote in a bunch of polls that we have up every month for games that we play for the podcast. And various other bits and pieces. All right, did it. Only lost 5 crew. Successful little sojourn there. And let's keep moving our way inwards. So after Planet 5, of course, we're going to go to the ever popular Planet 4, which is all the way over there. Sure. So the different stars that are in the game in terms of their scale and their color, I'm assuming it doesn't look like there's going to be anything nifty here. If I recall correctly, I think there has been some effort made there to have that affect some quote-unquote real things in the game in terms of likelihood of different types of planets and so on. I think, although that may just be wishful thinking or me misremembering things from my youth when I played this game all those years ago. It is quite strange to be coming back to it after all this time. I've certainly played it more recently than 1992, but whoops. But it has been quite a while. And the things that I've remembered from it and the things that I haven't remembered from it are a real mixed bag. Interesting. Gonna have some even more funky things on here. So this is the second Ruby world, I think, that we found in this particular spot. Class 3 weather, Class 2 tectonics. There's 2 super duper sort of, oh, look out. That does not seem like a 3 and a 2 to me. I am calling bullshit. Let's try that again. I think I'm going to have to be a little more aggressive with potentially taking off and getting out of there. Keep that finger firmly hovering over the spacebar. So clearly this is meant to be a bit of a carrot, something where we're going to be trying to grab things and potentially messing ourselves up and losing resources as we're trying to accumulate them. So those little fire trails there being just a right turd. And getting caught in a big confluence of them does not seem like a good place to be. All right, so we've gotten all of the large obvious ones. I guess the temptation here is, oh hell, is to try not getting caught in a big overlap of them, because it's awfully quick to lose things with the damage over time of those trails hitting us. So lightning strikes, not so much drama, but those big nested snarls there just being a real pain in the bum. And we're all the way down to 12 crew again already, and lost one of the landing craft. But with all of those exotics we just picked up, I'm hoping that it's worth our while. Could I have done that better? Undoubtedly so. If I'd been really pedantic, I guess I could be save scumming, but I'm not going to. And I think part of the argument I'm going to make there is that I am a couple of decades older than the last time I played this. And I must admit, those reflexes are certainly slowed down. As does the added hurdle of trying to talk while paying attention to other things. Those are some nice big batches of stuff there. I think I'm going to go down there and grab them, even though I don't think they're particularly... Whoa, look out. It's more of this terrible fire trails. I'm not really fond of them, but I think it is worth it for these giant dots. Oh, it's a long run. Goodness me, that was close. I'm very nearly out of crew on the ship, so it is time to do some rostering changes. So let's... how are we going to do this? No, that's assigning them to the other ships. This is recalling them from the ships. That's how we do it. Sure, why not? So moving around with the cursor keys and using the enter button, we'll bring that one all the way down to 10. So we've hoovered 2/3 of the crew off of the other things. I'm sure it'll be fine. Going back to this navigate. All right, so that's one little moon. We'll try this other little moon. What have we got here? Ooh, look at that. Class 7 weather. No, thank you. We're going to remember that ultramarine world, and we're going to come back to it when we don't have just real easy to kill landing craft. So the Melnorm are here. We know we're going to return here in the future, and we'll just keep in mind that Alpha Centauri Planet 2, Moon 2, is a place to return to when we want to try and grab some more stuff. I believe that's probably the highest weather rating that we've seen on something that isn't a gas giant. What have you got for me, Alpha Centauri Planet 1? Please be something that is great and also doesn't have a ton of challenge associated with it, if you don't mind. Class 6 tectonics. This is a conspiracy that's forcing me to want to upgrade things and spend money. I'm onto you. It's not going to work. All right, let's go to the star map then, because there are a couple of other little stars nearby here. Epsilon Centauri, along with Zeta Centauri and Beta Centauri. Let's go to Beta first. Off we go. Still 38 fuel. That's looking good. Still 2 landing craft. That's looking good. Only 46 crew left on the flagship. Not quite as good. And certainly the fact that our 2 other ships are now low on crew. Not terribly great. Particularly if we end up in a ship battle. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Even though I can see there is a shadow coming in. From over to the side there, although that isn't in the direction of the Ilrath, so maybe, just maybe, It won't be a hostile, he says, hopefully. I don't know if things can follow us into systems. I can't recall whether the game actually has that happen, or if I think they might just lurk around in hyperspace for you. I guess we'll find out. Hi there, Urea World. How pleasant. What do you have? Absolutely nothing worth trying there. I'm certainly not landing on a Class 6 tectonic worlds for that little dot of resource. To the bin with you. Planet 6. The other thing that I keep meaning to do, and I keep forgetting to do, maybe we'll remember this next time we are in ship-to-ship fight, is that I haven't actually played the Sparthy ship in battle so that you can get a sense of what it does, or what it can do. Come on now. A cyanic world. Very nice. Little bits of stuff around in there. Class 1 tectonics is probably not going to be too much danger of us losing things. And we have tons of fuel, so that is definitely worth going around and trying to pick some things up. Ah, the blissful silence of not having flame erupting from the ground all over the place. Good times. Looks like we've got two little dots of things over here, unless my eyes are misreading. They were not. We can grab that. That's going to give us a full batch. And we'll just go and tidy the rest of these up. We're just cleaning the planet's surface. Just removing all of these unwanted blemishes. All right, good times. Let's keep going. Where was the next planet? I don't recall. But we're going to find Planet 3. We're going to head there. Post haste. Or maybe we're not. Oh, I broke my own rule. Fine then. So a smaller planet out here. We've got a couple of gas giants. Hopefully they're going to have a wealthy collection of moons. And they're all going to be just laden with goodies for us, I'm sure. So why are we doing all this drama? Why are we messing around trying to collect all of this stuff? That is definitely not something we're going to land on. Oh, look out. Some biological stuff, but it is not worth the risk, even though the Mel norms say they want that sort of information. They can wait for it. Why are we doing all of these things? Well, we're trying to get ourselves some upgraded bits and pieces so that as we start venturing further and further away from Sol, because you will have seen just how ridiculously gigantic and extensive the star map was, whoops, that we're going to be doing so with a fleet that is going to allow us to survive for longer periods of time, way further from home, in much more hostile conditions. So a lot of this early stage of the game is becoming used to the systems, trying to get a sense of how exploration works, but also, whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. But also, I guess in a way, kind of a little bit of grind. If you cast your mind back, dear viewers, to the world at the time when this came out, I would have played this game by installing it from a series of floppy disks. This is pre-CD-ROM onto a hard disk that was, by these days standards, pretty small. And in addition to that, the number of games that were available at the time, or at least with ease at the time, particularly living in a small town here in Queensland, meant that when you got a game, that was pretty much the game that you played for quite a good period of time. Ooh, nice, lots of moons. I like it. So for me, playing Star Control 2 for the first time, this was the game. This wasn't one of many games that I would play. This was the game that I would just be playing and playing constantly, along with, of course, quite a number of friends from school. Let's see how bad this Class 3 is. It sounds like it's just going to be earthquakes, I think. We've got quite a lot of radioactives here to pick up. Yeah, I can hear some earthquakey things happening there. So we've got plenty of fuel. We should be able to work our way around here and pick all of these things up. Hopefully this is going to be some good bank for us. And I'm starting to remember here that a big part of the technique for grabbing these things is actually to build a little bit of a mind map of vague directions to head from your landing spot. Based off of that large map on the left, and then just kind of drive around in the map on the right and correct as you get close to things. I don't know if that makes any form of sense, but it makes sense to me, and I'm doing it, and I think it's working pretty well, if I do say so myself. So I'm hoping the color of this planet being similar to the other one means that this one is also laden with goodies. That does not appear to be entirely inaccurate. And if there's one thing that space exploration is about, it's that close enough is good enough. All right. Something else that I'm also recalling here is that it's probably actually worth not heading for these larger dots when I know that my cargo is nearly full, because I believe it will just hoover up all of the dot. And if it would have given you more resources than you have in your available cargo space, it will just fill it up as much as it can, and then the rest of them are lost to the ether. So there've probably been a few occasions here where I picked up a larger dot when I'm very close to being full, and I've actually, quote-unquote, wasted resources, like some kind of amateur starship captain. All right. What's this green one going to have for us? Show me all the things. This also looks like a worthwhile endeavor. Filling up the hold with as much cash or potential cash as we can find. Nom nom nom. Formic acid, love it. So that's large dots there that I don't think I want to pick up because my cargo's almost full. Good times. So we'll try and grab some of these bigger ones now that we have an empty hold. Yay! This one here should also get us to nearly full. So we're going to go and head for one of these smaller ones. So this, of course, is a lot more feasible and a lot less stressful if we're able to do it without a ton of immediate pressure of fuel wastage, and also without all the crazy bullshit of tectonics and weather events that we're trying to dodge, because these long trips across the map on the actual surface, not terribly fun when there's a lot of stuff trying to destroy your craft. So we still have a very healthy 46 crew on the flagship. And if we're still able to keep finding these nifty planets where we can pick up tons of stuff for not a lot of cost, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. Must be fairly close to that second cargo pod being fully full. I think there was one more gas giant here that we haven't been to yet. I think it was over this way. Hopefully, yep, there it is. Hopefully we're going to have some moons here for ourselves. I think there might actually be another one just in there too. Oh, no, maybe it was a background star. 4 moons. Oh, lucky times. I recall those red moons before being pretty nifty. Is this one going to be nifty? It's called a metal world, so I'd hope so. Look at all that stuff. Marvelous. 3 and 3 on that weather and tectonics, though. If it's fire trails, and this is going to be unfun, but let's head down the surface and we'll find out just how unfun it is. Okay, so we've got lightning. And we've got earthquakes that I can hear. So none of the crazy fire bullshit, and that makes me very happy. Right, uranium, sulfur, these all seem like very big wins. You can see just the 3rd bar of our cargo container starting to fill up there on the flagship. copper, and I think we can grab... Ow! I think we can grab one more of these little bits. Good times. And I think it looks like there's some precious metals around here as well. So I think we're going to try and collect everything here. These hazards are not exactly... not exactly forgiving, but they're also not terribly damaging. And I think by the time we've gone to the remaining moons around here, we're probably going to be full and we're going to have to head back. And I think we're also going to be at the point where we should... Oh, nearly grabbed the wrong one. Where we're also going to have to grab some more cargo. Because the further we get away from Sol, the further we've got to travel, the less times we're going to want to be going back to base to hand all of the stuff in. But of course, as we get those modules, that means that there's other potential slots in our ship that we can't put all of the weapons and the other cool stuff that we're going to start upgrading and discovering. Class 3 tectonics, not a lot on there. No biologicals to exploit. What are these yellow ones going to have for us? I can't remember if yellow ones were good or not. Too many colors. Class 6 tectonics on a urea world. Leave that to the imagination. Nope. This one being the same color, I'm anticipating it to be equally not great. Close enough. All right. Whoa, lots of biologicals on there, though. Again, not really worth our time, given our current predicament. So let's go to our star map. We have another couple of stars nearby here. There's Epsilon Centauri and there's Zeta Centauri. Let's go to Epsilon. And we'll see what's waiting there for us. It could be a star system that has nothing in it. It could be a star system that has way too many things in it. There's only one way to find out. Ooh, looks like we're going to have something approaching us, and it is a bad thing because we're getting the bad thing signal. It's another Slolandro. Let's try having a chat with it and see what it says to us. We bring greetings from a friendly species. You said this before. Why do you attack us? We are not hostile to your life form. Behavior follows dictated priorities. Replication. Data gathering. Contacting alien life forms in peaceful manner. Priority override. New behavior dictated. Must break target into component compounds. That old chestnut. Okay, so we have a flagship that's kind of useless in combat that has a bunch of crew on it that we don't want to lose. We have two of our ships that have a third of their crew, and we have the Sparthy that has a third of the crew. We got two of these. I don't want to lose any of them, but I know I can shoot from further away with this. And we didn't get a single hit on there, so that's terrible. I guess we can try that again and see how it works out. That's not a great start. Only the one hit. We're in a bunch of trouble here, folks. So I guess it's all up to Fwifo now. Fwifo should be able to get a little bit more distance because this Sparthy ship is going to be a bit quicker and can also shoot these missiles out of its backside to attempt to take down this ship. So it is a matter of spacing and distance. We want to get close, but we don't want to get too close. And of course, that ship is constantly maneuvering away. We've got to watch out for that planet. That would be embarrassing to crash into it. Oh boy. Which direction are we facing? It's hard to get a sense of what's going on here with the camera jittering around so much. Ah! Oh no, too close. We just made it out. Well done, Fwifo. And we got ourselves 550 resources, so that's good. But we did lose our 2 cruisers. All right, so with that in mind, now that we're 2 ships down, I think it's probably wisest to head back to Sol and restock. And we can come back down this way again fairly soon. So let's see if we make it back to Sol safely. Getting another Sparthy ship soon would be good, I guess, if those Slylander are going to keep coming in and attacking us. We're going to have more luck with that than with the other ships. It really does come down to whether or not you get a lucky shot there with the Earthling cruisers, depending on what direction they're facing and how close they spawn in. But those things are all not in our control. So we'll make our way back to the starbase. I realized halfway through that battle that I'd forgotten to save the game. But now that we're here, I think we might leave it because that's all the time we have for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be notified when other episodes are released. Tell a friend if you think they might enjoy this. And come back again soon for more Star Control 2.